Where are you taking your Albatross project from here?
Well, I thought I would release Albatross into the world and then go on to other stuff, but it's been an incredible experience to receive so much response from Albatross and to be invited all over the world to attend screenings and to have it translated into other languages. And so I'm kind of going with Albatross. And right now, the project is that we're translating it to as many languages as we can. And there's a tremendous amount of interest in Albatross from the Middle East. So I'm going to be traveling to Jerusalem and showing the film there. I have an exhibition coming up in Seoul, South Korea, where there's going to be a series of screenings. So we're translating into Korean and just trying to bring this message, the incredibly simple message of Albatross, of just remembering that we love our world. That's it, is just to feel our love for these creatures as a symbol for all living beings, to bring it as far and wide as we can in the world.
And how do you fund that?
Well, it's all sort of by bootstraps and shoestrings at the moment. And I don't know why it's so hard for me to ask for support, but we really need support. And I hope it's clear to people by now that I'm not screwing around after all the years I've been working on this. And every dollar of support that comes in will go into translating the film or sponsoring a screening somewhere in the world that can't afford to rent a theater, and to upgrading our website. And the other thing I'm in the middle of working on that I hope to release as soon as we can is a set of educational materials.
Why is it so important, in your view of the world which changed so radically when you lived this experience, to really bring the conversation onto the importance of scaling consciousness versus the power of regenerative actions that we can all choose to perform in our lives?
It happens so often at the end of screenings of Albatross that somebody raises their hand and says, what can I do to save albatrosses on Midway Island? And on one hand, you can support specific plastic-related activism, clean up beaches, that kind of boots on the ground activism. And it almost never occurs to somebody to support me and the spreading of my message, even though they were inspired by that. Because there's something about spreading consciousness, like helping the world awaken to the love that we're all made of, that doesn't feel tangible enough to be a solution. And I see the whole environmental movement is a little bit stuck that way, because there are kind of two channels that need exactly equal attention. There's the stuff that people are doing, and there are millions of people all over the world doing amazing research of all different kinds, coming up with new materials, lobbying legislatures to change laws, lobbying corporations to change the way they are. They're like this massive activism movement. And there's this other channel that's almost ignored. It's really hard to get funding to do the work that I do because the foundations all want something measurable. They want to know, we bought 12 microscopes for these classrooms, or they want something measurable, and you can't measure shift in consciousness. Even though it might be the most important thing right now, is to just bring openly into conversation, especially as a man, openly connect with other people who are willing to feel and say and talk about the fact that we love our world. It's so obvious that we completely forget it and we take it for granted. It's like, you know how they say fish can't see the water they swim in. They don't know that they live in water because it's right, right against their face. And it's like that with us. There's this thing that we just forget, which is that we are conscious, embodied spirits. What if we could collectively remember that together and really feel it in our bones, just feel our love for each other and for all of life, and begin again from that place. I believe we would step through a doorway together and we don't even know what's on the other side of that doorway.
I think that's happening already in your experience, but it doesn't have a form yet, or it's not quantified yet. But we're there with you. So
that's a beautiful way of saying it, actually. It's not something that we need to do in the future that we haven't started yet. It's already happening.
It's happening.
Yes, all we need to do is accelerate.
And to use that metaphor of the water, we're in that soup already. It's just that we don't, acknowledge it and we don't see it. It's the other polarity of life. So, thank you.
Thank you, Christina.